Nigeria has faced and is currently facing the challenge of illicit importation of arms, which has dealt a heavy blow on the safety and economic power of its citizens through acts of terrorism and communal violence. Mechanisms have been put in place by the government to tackle the proliferation of arms, which threatens the stability of the nation. One of such mechanisms is the establishment of the National Commission for the Coordination and Control of the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons, NATCOM.
In recent years, there has been an increased possession of guns across countries, leading to spates of shooting and violence. Therefore, the need to ensure life and properties and gun safety is salient. Today, we have the privilege to spend a day with the Acting Director General of the NATCOM, OTUNBA Adegbenro.
If you want to know more about NATCOM and its issues surrounding the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, our guest is all ready to provide the answers to your questions. Join us after the short break. Welcome back. Sir, before we ask questions about NATCOM and your duties, can you please tell us more about your childhood?
My childhood, well, I came from a privileged background, which is the family of Adegbenro and Rewane. Rewane is Alfred Rewane, who happened to be the pro-crusader for democracy and single-handedly financed the NADECO. This was the fighting against General Abacha's regime, military regime, to bring back democracy. Then my paternal grandfather is D.S. Adegbenro, who was also a premier of the Western region. So inside me growing up, I had the privilege of two cultures, which is Ogun State, Abeokuta, Owu, and my late mother and late grandfather, Shekiri, Delta State. So I pretty much grew up in a home of politicians and very disciplined parents, being my dad, Chief Nia Adegbenro, and my late mom, Ms. Sumede Rewane. But growing up is different from how you see it today. Then we had all our traditional values in place, which was very strict. And you go to school, upon your good grades is how your parents treat you. And today, is part of the thing that I'm standing on was the way I was brought up as a child and the culture that was inside me. As I say, I'm a Nigerian, and then it wasn't like what we see today. And I have this slogan that is, I'm a Nigerian and my tribe comes second. Because we all went to school with different people, different culture, all put in one.
Sir, why was the commission set up? What aim does it seek to serve?
Well, the commission was set up in 2007, National Commission. Then it was National Task Force, which was clearly with the pioneer founder, late Chief Okereke, and the main mission was to checkmate Importers Association, which is IMA. But as time went on, we started noticing that there was influx of arms and ammunition being smuggled illicit illegal into Nigeria. But in 2006, we had the ECOWAS Treaty, which mainly said you had to get a commission in tandem with all the other ECOWAS states. So in 2001, NATFOS was disbanded because it transited to NATCOM. We had to get a legal backing, which we had to approach the Ninth Assembly. The Ninth Assembly passed the bill, but for some reason or the other, the former president, did not assent to the bill. But essentially, we are 274,000 personnel. We're the second largest after police. where every single local government and every state will have an office. So right now we're waiting for the assent to go back into operation, because when it was NATCOM, we were doing operation with the police. We're working with all the agencies, and pretty much so that this is the first time you see that our National Security Advisor of today, Madam Nuru Badu, who happens to be, he did well as a policeman, and he did well as being the first EFCC chairman, which was the biggest task of corruption that we're facing in this country. And he also ran for presidency as a politician. So we have 3 in 1 as our National Security Advisor, who I believe in him, I believe in ideology. He's the one that is the coordinator of all security issues. Our issues is based on intelligence, which we believe we need to rise to the traditional rulers, because the traditional rulers are the ones that really deal with the masses, which in the past, if you look at it, traditional rulers were well elevated, and we need to go back to the basic by elevating them to checkmate this thing, because it's all based on information. We have porous borders, and anybody can walk in with anything. For the equipment and every single thing that we have in hand, and the way we are going to tackle this illegal smuggling of arms into our dear country that is ending up in youth's hand. Some of them are even renting this gun, and it is so terrible that what we are facing in Nigeria, we don't need to face it, and that is because of unemployment. But as you see, the president of the day, we thank God, happens to be like a father to me. I call him Daddy Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu. I've known him since I was 16. A lot of people do not know him. He's actually a go-getter. You know, after fighting the military, he was like a son to my grandfather, late power for everyone. And we kept that relationship. And after fighting a military regime, you can't imagine how it is now that is now our civilian president. As a governor, he did fantastic. And pretty much his administration and what he promised Nigeria is security and unemployment. So it falls back to NATCOM, because we can accommodate as much and make sure that these youths are taken, and proper training to also combat this thing once the assent is done by the president. And pretty much we're on a good track. Nigerians should be patient for the assent to see what NATCOM is really going to do. It's not something I'll talk on the TV of how we're going to checkmate these people, because everybody's watching media. So they say, okay, this is what this man wants to do. But one thing I rest assure you, children, is that I'm fearless. And anybody that is doing these things will be brought to book, which is what the president's on. And I don't care who or what, I'll go after them. In Nigeria to today, from 1999 till now, not one person has been convicted for bringing illegal arms, ammunition into our dear country, which we are suffering of it today. So the perpetrators, they should watch out. There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm ready to deal with them. And for the youths, they should be patient. We get our assent, we'll take you people in, and we'll do. And another thing that we're going to try and do is not just by taking these guns off the youth, we're also going to take them back into the society, how they can. Because right now their mindset is that I can get free money by having a gun, doing kidnapping, doing armed robbery, doing all sorts of manners of illegal things by having a pistol, So that's pretty much where we are. But Nigerians should always make sure that, especially you children, you should make sure that you have the insight of your surrounding, which we can talk about that later. But as it is, you pray for your uncle here, and you also pray for your president. That you children have to do, because tomorrow is for you children. And I'm happy that you're asking me this question.
Sir, what age is appropriate to get a gun license, and under what circumstances?
Well, in Nigeria, there's you cannot just get a gun according to age. You're only allowed a hunting license. and obviously that is from 21 upwards. And a hunting license is a gun that you use for hunting, not for protection.
Some citizens are clamoring for freedom to bear arms and defend themselves against terrorists, particularly in northern Nigeria. Sir, what's your opinion on this?
With the Nigeria that we're in today, I don't think it's appropriate for anybody to be licensed to have individual guns. Because first of all, you have to make the security situation douse down before you can now look into it. But I'm totally against for anybody to have guns to be killing themselves. That is now left for all the agencies, security agencies, to put their heads together and work as one to bring out this security situation. Because having guns is not only for protection. People may misuse it, and you may use it on your wife, you may use it on anybody that's your enemy. It's not a tool that is and our custom has never been like the Western world that carry guns and all these things. This is pretty much a traditional culture-based country. So that is what we believe in. Conflict is not by gun or letting everybody carry a gun, because they would grossly misuse it.
Sir, as an expert in gun control, what do you think will be the way forward through this gun violence menace in America, considering there are many Nigerians in that society?
Well, America is one country that I don't really focus on. I'm more of the United Kingdom. But from what I hear and what I see, nobody is happy about all this shooting inside malls But you see, with that, it also comes back to having people license their gun. If that wasn't done, I don't think there'll be much of a killing in America, especially for such an advanced country. You don't just give guns to anybody. You get what I'm saying? Their system works, so I don't see why they're giving guns to people. You get me? That's my own opinion. But I'm not an American president or citizen that I'll be able to give you knowledge or tell them what it is. My main focus is what happens within the shores of the dear country, which I love very much, Nigeria.
Sir, what can children do if they are in the environment of an active shooter?
First, you run for safety, or you lie down at your position and look very well. Make sure that you're in a safe place that they can't get you. You have to even hide. And after, try and get a glimpse of who the person is. And you go to the front line of defense, which is the Nigerian Police Force, to make sure you make a report. You take your uncle, daddy, mommy, elder, so you can report to them, this is what occurred. And that is how you're helping your neighborhood, which is more like neighborhood watch. So I always encourage children to keep yourself safe, so you can now report to police, this is what happened. And they can ask you, can you remember what the man looks like, his height, his color, and everything. Because police is getting database day by day of fingerprints of people that are doing these things.
Sir, what are the current safety rules that kids should know about?
Safety rules. Don't go near a gun. If you see a gun in your home, that is not a hunting gun. Hunting gun are the really long, old-fashioned gun. But if you see a gun, like a water pistol gun, if you see it, don't go near it and report to the police, because that is not licensed. That is illegal for you to have it with you. Any license for such pistol is only given by the president.
Sir, in what ways has the Commission used technology to tackle the illicit trade and unlicensed ownership of small arms and light weapons?
In the past, yes, technology has been used. We have technology. But in the past, it was NATCOM, and it was in conjunction with the police. So the intelligence will be shared, and we go around and we find out who has this gun, because there's such equipment that is quite far. If you're looking for a gun that will scan the area and see where these guns are. But we have now that we're transforming to a NATCOM, which is now going to be legally law-abiding. We have a lot of equipment to fish out this thing at any place. We'll pull them out.
Sir, what is your advice to children and young adults?
First and foremost, traditional values. You respect your mother, you respect your father. I believe it's in the Bible and in the Quran, and which says, honor thy father and mother, and your days shall be long. Once you do that, and you're growing, you're out of university, compose yourself to be patriotic that Nigeria is your country. Because today, when you say Nigeria, if they ask you where you're from, the first thing you're going to say is that you're from Ogun State, which is wrong. You're from Nigeria. Then second comes your state. So that's how you are being patriotic. You will never see a British man say, where are you from? You say, I'm British. When you ask an American, you say, where are you from? Say, I'm from the United States of America. But you will not see that. They will say, I'm from Michigan, or in the UK, I'm from Somerset. It doesn't do that. You have to carry the morals of your country if you want to be leaders of tomorrow. It is very essential. And always remember what your parent teaches you at home, what they teach you in school. Even schools, you will have challenges. But once you have that moral and guiding, and you are religious by praying to God, let it be you be Muslim or Christian. You need to put all that together for you to go ahead. And never be shy to ask questions. Question anything you do not understand. Let it be school, let it be work, or if you don't understand it, you go to your parents. If your parents are not around, you have uncles and aunties that will be able to guide you. And don't go near anything that is illegal. Today, children are being faced with parents beating them, children trafficking, children taking drugs, children being alcoholic, children turning out to be kidnappers and all this stuff. I will employ on you children that you have met the acting director general of NATCOM, that you people need to be very careful, watchful, prayerful, and always pray for your leaders. There's nothing more than praying for your leaders in Nigeria, because you want it to be a better place. And this future that you people are going to come, you are going to supersede us, and you are going to make sure that you are better than me. That's what I want to see from you children. To be good, abiding, lawful citizen of Nigeria.
Can you tell us how you unwind after a long day?
Yes, I can. It is really very difficult. When I get home, all I want to do is eat and go to bed. Since I've taken this NATCOM position, coming from the private sector to the commission, solely different. We are trying to manage 274,000 people. Your phone calls are there, different meetings are being there. We are lobbying for the bill to be passed. All the right government people, we have spoken to them. So a lot of my time is taken. And when it is taken, there's pretty much, I'm very tired, I want to sleep. But before this, if you're talking about sleeping or unwinding, I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I watch football. I like boxing, I do boxing training, and also I swim, and I swim extremely well. So that is what I am missing, taking this hard task, so that you youths will not engage in illegal things, and to make Nigeria a safer country.
Finally, sir, what legacy would you like to leave behind?
I want to surpass my grandfathers and the legacy of them, which they stood for, which is being fighting for Nigeria, being patriotic. I want you children that when God calling from them, that I'll be in the history book of Nigeria, that this is a man who brought illegal arms, ammunitions down to the barest minimum, and he was courageous. So that will encourage other Nigerians to see that this is the legacy I've left behind for my children, my great-great-grandchildren, like that, so that it will be in the history book. I want to surpass my two grandfathers, and by the special grace of God, I think I'm on the right path that I'm taking right now.
Thank you for your time, sir. Now we are acquainted with the functions of NATCOM. May God's protection and wisdom be yours as you carry out your duties.
Amen.
You can all agree with me that our guest is smart and charming, right? And the information you got there is our. Stay tuned.